Mr. Yang, the floor is yours.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to welcome friends, colleagues, and also our partners physically have a meeting or the conference here on this very critical topic, sustainability. And I will say good afternoon, maybe good morning to the friends online. And I would say the presentation, what I'm going to have today is on the practice or the case on the manufacturing sector in Ethiopia. So maybe we can show the slides. So during for the technical sharing for these slides, maybe I can introduce myself. My name is Jinjiang. I'm sitting in the division of Agro-industries business and infrastructure development, which I'm our new director of SDG innovation and economic transformation. So with this goal, actually, we promote these SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, for these developing countries and also the industry side. Okay, I hope everyone can see the slide now. The title today is ESG to promote the sustainable development of the sector in the developing countries. So the case would be on the textile and apparel industry in Ethiopia, which is prioritized the sector or prioritized the manufacturing sector in the country. So what is ESG, the topic? I think most of you know it very well, including the three elements: environmental and social and governance. Here's a message from World Economic Forum to list some factors on different angles. So the environmental for the manufacturing sector, we are focused on the list on the renewable fuels, the GHG, which means greenhouse gas and energy efficiency, and also climate risk and water management, which is also very important for the textile and apparel sector. And the middle social part relevant with the healthy and safety, and also the working conditions for the employees, for the workers, and the benefits linked with the work. And also the human rights impact on the local communities. So for the governance, more relevant with the ethical standards and also the board diversities and also the shared rights. So I think most of us more or less know what is ESG, but how it linked with UNIDO's or this mandate. So I will take the opportunity to introduce a little bit on the UNIDO in brief. UNIDO was a specialized agency of the UN system, which founded in 1966. So we have the mandate to promote inclusive and sustainable industrial development, which focus on the strategic priorities on three parts. One is creating shared prosperity and also advancing economic competitiveness, and the safety guarding the environmental. I think it is really relevant with ESG topics we are going to have today. And the core functions from UNIDO is from the four areas: the technical cooperation, the analytic and the research policy advisor for the service, and is norm and standard in partnership with different sectors. So UNIDO have 170 member states, and we have $800 million portfolio and about 3,000 workforce around the world, and 47 offices, and including this ITPO office. So why we working on this ESG and why it is important? I think we have several drivers for this data use from the, these resources from intercontinental exchange, which is from the financial industry. So I think it is four drivers to this ESG data use. And the first part is about we should do the right thing. I think from whatever from the stakeholders and also the investors, employees, we should do the right thing. And the second point of view is to respect the regulations, not only about the reporting, but also the impact and the trade relevant issues, and also mitigate the risk from physical for the employees and for the management and also the transition economic. And so the manages reputations. And from the revenue point of view, we have the alpha and products and the top line growth for this. So this is something really driven to using the ESG data for as a motivation of the sectors of the enterprise. So next slides, I will link it with the project or the case we are doing in Ethiopia on the textile and apparel industry in the country. And during, I would say, during the last 10 years, Ethiopia have a lot of FDIs, foreign direct investors in this sector, textile and apparel sector in the country. As we see the pie chart, I think a lot of the different results from different from international communities or from foreign countries. And here, China was taking up like 25% of the investment. So we see a lot of numbers ongoing, invested sector in Ethiopia. And when we see during the investment of these Chinese FDIs, something we need to improve for this ESG during their investment, also the operation. And when we see the data is improving and also this issue is coming up, so we are developed one concept to improve the ESG performance of these Chinese FDIs and also the local companies to improve their performance, to improve their sustainability of the business. With this data growing, I think the significance of this ESG topic, which also become more important for those companies. So some background of the project, I think is the project we call the Sustainable Textile Development in Ethiopia for investment and operation. So overall, the objective is to improve the ESG performance. And I think we were through the awareness workshop, capacity building, and also the baseline study to these sectors. And also, I think engages the partners globally, like the United Nations Global Compact, and also the JAZ8. And it's from China side, we engage with China National Textile and Apparel Commission, and also the Ethiopia side, we include the Ethiopia Textile and Apparel Development Institute. So from technical partners, we got the strong support from the Ministry of Industry from Ethiopia, and also Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development from Germany, and the MOFCON of China. So the project is originally designed like a 2 years project, but I think we will try to, it is still ongoing. We try to conclude this initial or phase 1 project at the end of this year. And what do we do for this? I think 3 elements. One is a baseline study. As I showed on this slide, we developed the method to do the baseline study for joint carried with our partners and do the joint study with select enterprise, not only limited with the Chinese enterprise, but also the local companies and other FDIs. And I think the important thing is that we are aiming to, I would say, to understand what is the currently ESG practice or situations right now, and also want to understand what is the challenge to implement this ESG performance or the measures. So key to findings from this baseline study, one is about from the social part, which is human resource management. I think the Ethiopia employees which are working in these FDIs, they are the main production force. And the managers, I think the local Ethiopian managers plays a very important role in the daily operation or daily management. So they have see a lot of, or say, emphasize or great importance for the labor relationship with the management and the labor right protection. From the environmental point of view, I think most Chinese enterprise have developed this mechanism or objective to the system, which is to implement this ESG performance. And I think it develops a very good communication mechanism with local political or local authorities and also the local partners. I think they have several challenges we found this came up from this study. One is because of the COVID-19, because our project is implemented exactly during the COVID-19, so they have some challenge to operate and is a negative influence by the COVID. And also lack of the local policy and standards for the benchmark. And I think another very important thing is the lack of kind of talent and capital for the management system as well as relevant training needed. This is something we found from the baseline study, also the challenges we found out. So that's why we came up with some recommendation. One is the training needed for this capacity building, and also the developing some tools help them to monitoring the ESG workers and also improve their awareness and also improve the ESG performance accordingly. And we are going to establish kind of ESG knowledge hub. Actually, we already launched, and as a digital platform to have their kind of quick access for these standards and news and best practice. So quite quick on some finding is some pictures or the figures to understand a little bit. We're working on the totally, I think it is more than like the 30 companies. We collected 150 survey questionnaire to understand what is behind these companies on the ESG. So the overall, I think from the certification data, what is from the men point of view and also from female side is overall, I think it's have a good percentage on the certification as we see from the pies on male side and also the female side, we have the good result for the overall certification for the project for the management for the companies. And when we working on the data, see the working hours from the management measures, we list the different point of view or different ethics. So as we see all the companies, or the 100% of companies, they already established this working attendance monitor system, which is trying to tracking these working hours for the employees. And the second point of view is a payment or leave aligned with overtimes, always established in like the 90% of this enterprise. And also the other system is established to monitor employees' working time and also the payment of the overtime. So the system, I would say, showing up with still some, I would say, working need improved or some area need to improve for this working hours management system. But overall, the main mechanism is already established in these FDIs and also the local companies. Another big finding is driven to improve ESG performance in Ethiopia. And at this moment, I think the key driven is from the also top 3 driven is from the local government requirement. And this is taking up like 92% of the driven for this ESG performance. And the second is enhance the corporate management benefit, which is to the revenue driven something. And the second point of view is the common requirement, which is from the international buyers or international brands. They are really driving the companies to improve their ESG performance. And the next will be the local practice for the industrial park, because most of the FDIs located in the industrial park in Ethiopia. And also from the I would say FDIs headquarter in China and in other countries. And this point of view will really help us to understand what is driven for these FDIs to improve this ESG. Actually, we really need some driven to improve this ESG during the investment or during their daily operation. And later on, we will see how we are working with them during some capacity building. So the challenges to improve the ESG performance in Ethiopia, I think we list 8 from different angles. I think we can see from the opportunity point of view and also the priority point of view. The top 3 is that, we're facing kind of challenge for the consistent for the local policy. So which means linked with the driven, because it is required by the local part regulation. So we need, I would say, more specific or more clear policy to drive in this ESG performance. And the companies, actually, they are really looking for the technical assistance or technical reference from even from the local authorities, but also from the global or the international communities for that. And from third point, the talent and the funds investment needed for their management system. And the fourth, they are needed in industry organization support for this ESG performance. And for another things, I think we are also looking into the training needed for that, for this improvement. Another, I would say, next slide. For this slide, I think I'll try to very quickly to understand what we've done for this capacity building. We developed the training for them. First of all, awareness workshop. Secondly, is customized ES training for each companies. So try to engage with each individual companies for the training materials, and not only about the social topics, but also the environmental topics on the freedom and on freedom of association, and also the labor issues, and also the wastewater management and the energy management. And another point of view, we develop these different training courses for these local companies as well, to understand and to the total pollution check and also communication with the staff on organizations. I think some impacts and lesson learned from this project is we can see a lot of enterprise. They are very active for this capacity building, and also very positive for feedback for these trainings. And also, I think we trigger some needs or demands from those companies. Actually, they have a very good demand on deeper and was systematic learnings on this ESG topic, which is really, we want to have more deep engagement for these topics for the training. And lessons learned from the project, actually the local team and also I would say the headquarter of these companies was engaged with the manuals to develop the tailor-made materials, and the partners engagement for this learning process, and the knowledge transformation for that. So from my point of view, it brings us a very good practice in the manufacturing sector in Ethiopia. and was still have some following up working. We're developing the scale up plans with this individual enterprise, try to make it more practical with their business, because we see different companies, they are under the different level of the ESG. So we have to respect their real world and develop the manuals for them. So last pages, I would like to very quickly to show a good practice in Ethiopia, which is from the MENA Textile in Ethiopia, which is from located or headquartered in Southern China, which is have 20 years experience in textile industry. I think they developed two big investments in Ethiopia. One is about spinning and weaving site, which was happening in 2011, and a more focus on the manufacture side. And the second big investment is happening in 2014 and make it operated in 2016 on the down finish, which is a finish process where generate a lot of wastewater. But how they practice this ESG performance monitoring or principle in their daily operation, a very quick slides. One is from the printing and dyeing unit. They are quite a well organized sites and already established a very good practice on about this manufacturing process, because with they transfer the knowledge and procurement is advanced equipment from the Italy, from the US, also from Japan, China. So they install like the very advanced equipment in the country and manufacture this fabric made with the requirement from the international brands. And they already developed or established a wastewater treatment facility. I think this is very important for this site, because they are generate a lot of wastewater. And this big investment on this wastewater treatment system will help a lot on their, I would say, on their environmental improvement or monitoring system. So they are trying to recycle this water or reuse this water after the treatment, and also for the industry, but also for the local, I would say, local use. So which is a very good practice there on the environmental protection. They are also contribute or working with on the social part. They have developed the activities with staff and also organize a lot of communication mechanism to interact with the staff, particularly for the local one, respect their needs and demands. And another point of they also contribute for the service communities. So see the data from the donation from these companies is increasingly, I would say, in the past 5 years is a lot. And they invest to protect the local traditional culture. They also help upgrading their water system in the community nearby their site, and also helping the water supply for the communities. And the good thing is that they are also contributing for the economic part, economic point of view for their the host countries. They receive like the golden or gold taxpayer for these 3 years, which is the biggest, I would say, the biggest economic contributor for the host countries, and also have a kind of a good communication mechanism with the local authorities from the top management and also from the working level. So some I would say some quotations from the CEO of the MENA textile company, I think, which is relevant with the ESG topic, which is very important for the successful of the business. Why is that highlighted? He is highlighting that we invest the business and also help and promote the business of the host country, which is the prioritized sector for the countries, which is also the key for the success of the business for the MENA textile. And the second quotation is about they need pay the close attention for the legal compliance on the social responsibility built up for the countries and consider the most important consideration for the foreign enterprise to enjoy the successful overseas. I think it's relevant with environmental and the social part. And the third, respect the local culture and also establish effective communication with employees and also the local authority is really relevant with governance. So overall, I think in principle, the top management of this investor have a very good sense of the ESG, and also they are managing their investment and operation with this ESG principle from project, also from the global communities to make sure they have the success to the business. So this is something I want to sharing today, and I also open the floor for some quick questions.